When it comes to rock bands who defined excess, rebellion, and straight-up chaos in the 1980s, few stand as tall or as unrepentantly loud as Mötley Crüe. From Sunset Strip upstarts to arena kings, their legacy is cemented not only in wild tour stories and tabloid headlines, but in a discography that tells the story of a band that burned bright, crashed hard, and kept on coming back. Let's dive into the complete journey of their studio albums, from the DIY grit of their debut to the polished punch of Saints of Los Angeles. Mötley Crüe's story begins with leather, hairspray, and pure adrenaline. Too Fast for Love was originally self-released on Lether Records in 1981, a raw, punchy slab of glam punk metal that felt as dangerous as it did infectious. It was rough around the edges, but it had attitude to spare. Tracks like Livewire and Piece of Your Action hinted at what was to come. The re-release under Elektra Records in 1982 helped the band reach a wider audience, and though it wasn't an instant chart topper, it eventually went platinum, laying the groundwork for the band's rise. Shout at the Devil is the album where Mötley Crüe exploded into the mainstream and into controversy. With its satanic imagery, which caused moral panic in the United States, and heavier, darker sound, Shout at the Devil took their sleaze and grit to new levels. It introduced now iconic tracks like Looks That Kill, Too Young to Fall in Love, and the eerie title track. The band's stage show went full theatrical, and their look became synonymous with glam metal. The album went quadruple platinum, securing their spot at the top of the rock food chain. Theater of Pain. After the chaos and tragedy of Vince Neil's DUI crash in 1984, which killed Hanoi Rock's drummer, Razzle, the band was in a dark place. Yet Theater of Pain marked a shift, more glam, less grit. Critics were divided, but fans embraced the change. The album gave us Smokin' in the Boys' Room, a raucous cover that became a hit, and Home Sweet Home, a power ballad that would shape the genre for years to come. Whether you love it or see it as the band's sellout moment, there's no denying its cultural impact. Girls, Girls, Girls album was fueled by motorcycles, strip clubs, and plenty of Jack Daniel's Tiz album was Mötley Crüe living out their sleaziest fantasy, and putting it all down on vinyl. It was definitely bluesier and rawer than anything they'd done before, but it worked. The title track ended up as a strip club anthem for generations to come. The album actually peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and went quadruple platinum. Still, the band's substance abuse was, well, spiraling out of control, setting the stage for one of the most important albums of their career. Dr. Feelgood is really the crown jewel of Mötley Crüe's catalog, both musically and commercially. It was their first and only #1 album on the Billboard charts, and it was created while the band was newly sober. With Bob Rock's production tightening the screws, every track just hit harder. From the title track to Kickstart My Heart and Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away. This album just had anthem after anthem. It went 6 times platinum, earned them a Grammy nomination, and finally gave them the kind of critical respect they'd always been chasing. This was, without a doubt, Mötley Crüe at their absolute peak. In the wake of grunge, Mötley Crüe decided to try and reinvent themselves. With John Corabi on vocals, they ditched the glam entirely and leaned into a darker, heavier sound. Critics actually appreciated the shift, but fans just weren't ready. The self-titled Mötley Crüe album debuted at number 7, but it struggled commercially. In hindsight, though, it's gained a cult following for its sonic depth and experimentation. Corabi brought a different energy to the band, but nostalgia and business concerns soon led to Vince Neil's return. Vince was back, but the world had changed. Generation Swine tried to mix their classic sound with industrial and electronic elements, hoping to sound modern. The result was an odd, disjointed album that just confused longtime fans. Still, it debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 and contained some interesting moments, especially in hindsight, but it failed to recapture the old magic. By this point, The band's unity was cracking under the weight of expectations. New Tattoo was a return to basics, sonically at least. It ditched the experimental vibes of the previous album and tried to resurrect the glam metal spirit of the 80s. Unfortunately, with Tommy Lee out of the band and Randy Castillo soon sidelined by cancer, momentum was lost. Though it had flashes of old-school fun, like Hell on High Heels and Punched in the Teeth by Love, the album lacked the energy fans craved. It didn't go gold, marking a rare commercial misstep. 8 years later, Saints of Los Angeles brought the original lineup back together, just in time to ride the wave of nostalgia sparked by their tell-all autobiography, The Dirt. Appropriately, the album was a concept record inspired by their infamous rise and fall. The title track became a hit, even earning a Grammy nomination, and the album debuted at number 4. It was a solid return to form, sounding like a modernized Shout at the Devil. Fans and critics agreed. This was the comeback the Crüe deserved. Mötley Crüe's studio albums are more than just music. They're chapters in a saga of debauchery, resilience, reinvention, and legacy. From the scrappy glam of Too Fast for Love to the swagger of Dr. Feelgood and the modern grit of Saints of Los Angeles, every album has a story. And like the band itself, the story is never dull. With The Dirt bringing their legend to a new generation and rumors always swirling about more tours or music, Mötley Crüe remains a force that refuses to be forgotten. Which Crüe album is your favorite, and why? Let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Rock on!
Just one more night, and I'm coming on this long winding